How are you doing, everyone? It's me, TheDomotaku, doing the very first anime review impression thing for 2017, technically, because this aired on New Year's, or New Year's Eve day, technically, December 31st, and I was like, what the hell is this? So luckily, I had a good friend of mine tell me that this special episode for Fate Grand Order, First Order, was coming out on the day before New Year's, and I was just like, what the hell is this? I've never heard of this. I knew that they were making a Grand Order series, but I didn't know that the first episode was airing right before New Year's, and I was like, oh shit, I gotta watch this, and I gotta make the very first anime reaction review video thing for 2017 with this. So let us get started. So for those of you who don't know, I am a huge fan of the Fate series. Fate Grand Order is, from what I can tell from my good friend of mine, it's a mobile app game where it takes place in the Fate series, and of course there's some kind of story to it in the game, but it's only in Japanese and available in Japanese and whatnot, and unless you have a Japanese account or know how to understand Japanese, then you can play it. But I do not have the game. My friend has the game. He plays it to an extent. He knows the basics of it, so he probably knows a lot more than I do. But my first thought on First Order, or Fate Grand Order, is that it's pretty good. I really liked it. It's different. So the last Fate that I technically have seen was Unlimited Blade Works, and Unlimited Blade Works was okay. It was really cool. Before that was Fate Zero, yeah, and then the Fate Stay Night, told the old ass one, and then you also have the side story of Fate's Khalid Prismalia. So yeah, I watched a lot of Fate. So this one was just like, okay, let's see what the hell this is, because it's not really, it's in the Fate universe, but it's not the person not really used to, and it's just like, okay, it's pretty good. So it goes straight into it, really, in the beginning half of the special. This is a 1 hour special, right? So I had a lot of good time to sit down and relax and enjoy it and the whole thing. So the first half is pretty much the explanatory part of, I'm assuming if it's a game, it's like the introduction to the game, and then you just have the First Order being the first mission or the first event that happens in the game, right? So basically you are, his name is Fujimaru Risuka. Yes, that is his name. So you wake up as this guy who wakes up in this facility that is called like Caldera, and it's basically a facility that uses time travel and magic and sorcery and science, the combination of the two, to keep humanity alive for however long they can, to preserve human life. And I was like, oh, this seems pretty legit. Okay, this is totally, different from what I expected in Fate, but it makes sense. So, our boy, our main character, Fujimaru, I'll have to get used to that, is a participant in this program where they are, of course, prolonging human life and whatnot. And there he meets a girl who is, in my eyes, the best servant, or best servant, best girl in Fate now that I've seen her. But she's awesome. Her name is Mash, or you can call her like Mashu or something like that. Like, I thought it was Mashu, the way they pronounce her name in the anime or the episode. But yeah, it's Mash. But then you say it sounds like Mashu. It's like Mash, right? That's what I'm saying. So they meet her. She's also taking part in this in the facility Caldera, and prolonging human life. And then it all goes down to normal and whatnot. And then something happens in the thing where a lot of shit happens, really, for the first episode. I kind of like it, I guess. So let me see here, actually. So this is a 1 hour special. I don't know when the next one is, so I don't know if there's going to be more to this series. There technically is more to the series from my eyes, but for the 1 hour special, it was a good introductory to the Fate Grand Order series, and it kind of makes you want to play the game. So what happens, the catastrophe, so some kind of explosion happens in the facility when all other 48 masters who are also like Fujimaru are taking place to save humanity in a sense. And then something happens, they all get hospitalized except Fujimaru, who got excluded because he was falling asleep in class. And then he comes in to save Mashu, because Mashu is best girl, and something happens which sends them back in time. The actual project happens where they are set in a city where the Holy Grail War took place, right? And so I'm assuming that everyone watching this knows what the hell Fate is, or has some sort of knowledge of what the hell Fate is, because if you don't, it's kind of gonna be pretty hard. So they get sent back to the past, and I forgot exactly what date it was. It was 2004 in Fuyuki City, right? And basically the gist of it is that they get set into the aftermath of the Holy Grail War, and from the looks of it, something happens in that setting. Well, because this is the event that happens that causes humanity to no longer exist in like 100 years or so, right? So they go there to stop that calamity. They time travel in that sense, and then they try to stop the disaster. So apparently a Holy Grail War happened, and the aftermath of the Grail happened, and the servants are still there. All the humans are dead, and it's just like, what the hell is going on? So then you also see the masterminds behind this disaster, which is Darksaber, which I don't know how the hell that happened. And then you have all the other servants, like I believe that other one was that a Lancer? I don't know if that was a Lancer or not. You have a Dark Lancer, you have a Dark Archer, and I was just like, who the hell is this? And then, you know, so then you also have Mash, who just awakened to her master, or not, her servant powers. She is a shielder, which is a new type of, new type of servant. And that's pretty cool, because go shields, why not? Mashu's awesome. And then you also have the Lancer caster guy. So I don't exactly know too much about Fate. I say I do, but I kind of don't in this sense. So you have this caster that comes and helps out Fujimaru and Mashu in their in this disaster timeline thing, right? And he's basically the Lancer in in all the other Fate not the Fate Zero, in Fate Stay Night and Unlimited Blade Works. That's him, right? And it's funny because he makes a joke at the end that makes it like it's super funny. So you have them like solve the disaster, right? You have a caster fight Archer, and then you have Mashu fight Saber, and it's just like, oh gosh, this is so weird. Because of course, for anyone who's seen other Fate series, I don't know what the whole reasoning is with the Darksaber thing. I have no clue. I've only seen Darksaber once in Fate Ilia, the first season, and that was it. I'm just like, I don't know what the hell the whole thing is of the Dark thing. She's supposed to be cool and good, but probably the Holy Grail did something, and you know, that's what happened to explain Darksaber. So they fight. Mashu awakens to her noble phantasm and beats Saber, hallelujah, and then they stop the disaster, only to find out that the whole freaking plot was orchestrated by the director or the engineer of their organization, Caldera, who created the machine and tried to, you know, save humanity. And for some reason, we don't know why he's doing this, but then overall, it goes to the point where basically the gist of Fate Grand Order, in my eyes, is that in the end, Mashu and Fujimaru are tasked with the mission of saving humanity by going back in time and stopping these disasters from happening that cause humanity to no longer cease in the future, right? And these two are the only ones who can do it, because everyone in the world's dead. All the other masters are injured due to the explosion in the facility in the first half of the episode, and they basically have to fight a bunch of heroic spirits from different times and eras and whatnot, and these two are the only ones that can do it. And I was just like, oh my goodness, that sounds like an amazing concept, doesn't it? So, you know, if you don't know much about, basically the game itself is this, because in the game of Fate Grand Order, I've seen my friend like show it to me a few times, right? You have the accessibility of all servants ever in the Fate universe, like all of them. And there's like so many of them that I don't even know about. There's like 5 other different Lancers for like that look cool. It's like a female one with long hair, and then there's like other guy, and then there's like so many other casters, there's so many other sabers, there's a red saber, and just like so many people. And it's like, okay, so then with this, you have so much like freedom to play with in this series, and that kind of made me really interested in it. It's like, oh man, we get to see so many like new heroic spirits, and maybe, you know, you might even see the caster who wanted to be a Lancer resummoned, right, in this thing. And it's like, you can see so many people, maybe even the good saber for once, or Arthur and whatnot, right? So like with that, the end of the series, the end of the episode just ends up with them, you know, like, oh, they're going to their next mission, and it's like, okay, this is the mission. It's called Grand Order, hence Fate Grand Order, the mission of Grand Order to save humanity and whatnot. And then of course First Order is probably just this first introduction special, which makes me think it's just like, okay, there has to be more. If so, this isn't going to be, from the looks of it, a series. Oh, it is a series, but it's not like a weekly series, right? They put like 1 hour long things for during times, whatever. So like the First Order or the first special was aired today, or yesterday technically, and then you have the Second Order or the second video special thing air later on this year, and the third one and the fourth one. I don't know if there's an ending to the game. I'll probably have to ask my friend about that, or unless one of you guys have somehow played Fate Grand Order in the Japanese account or something like that, then, you know, if there's an ending to the game, then you can feel free to tell me, but don't spoil anything because I want to watch it or experience it myself. So that's about it with this series. So for one, I really did enjoy it. It was, you know, 1 hour special, and for one, the first half could be a little bit meh because it's just like introductory stuff, talking and whatnot, introducing the characters. But the later half, oh man, I love Fate and their damn action and stuff, because the later half was just so cool with the introduction of all the other hero spirits, the Darksaber, and then just, you know, in the end, you also have those jokes where it's like Lancer is like, oh, or Caster is like, okay, summon me back as a Lancer if we ever meet again, or something like that. Or then you see all the other red sabers and stuff like that in the end, like the hero experience. And this is like, Fate Grand Order is a pretty good concept in my opinion. It's a different thing from Unlimited Blade Works and the regular one and Zero and Prisma Ilia. So it's just really refreshing to see something different once in a while. You know, it's not the same characters from the old ones. And Mashu, once again, best girl, because I literally did a speed drawing video right after I watched the special, and I was like, dude, Mashu's character is so cool. I have no clue why I like her, but she's just cool. You know, Saber's Eye, but Mashu's cool, so why not? So that is it for the Fate Grand Order First Order impression review thing. So hopefully, you know, if you guys tell me in the comment section below, is there going to be more to the series? Because I have no clue about the details of this 100% yet, because I just heard that they were doing, you know, this series and there's a special. Actually, I could probably just look it up in my, like, some kind of news website or something like that. Anyways, yeah, so will there be a Second Order or a Third Order or like a second video or whatever later on this year? And what did you guys think about this F special? You know, it's pretty cool. I also heard that there's also a lot more Fates. So I saw a trailer for Heaven's Feel movie, which is still cool. I kind of wait to watch that. And then you also have Fate Apocophia. I didn't know how to pronounce it. I just saw a brief thing in my social media feed. There's like so much Fate going on here. And there's another series in 2017 for Fate Apocophia. I have no clue how to pronounce that damn thing. But anyways, yeah, Fate Grand Order. It's pretty cool. Introduction of new character, and Mashu, once again, favorites. Best girl, sure, why not, in my opinion. And yeah, you know, it's a cool concept. I like it, and I like to see some more of it, like a conclusion to it, sort of. Maybe like later on, 2 months from now, you have the Second Order and then the Third Order, and then how many orders you need to complete this thing. Because once again, I don't know if there's an ending to the actual mobile game. If there is, then they could totally complete this. But for now, it's just a concept where it's just like, okay, these two are gonna save the world. They're gonna fight all the heroic spirits ever in the world. Maybe you get some help from others. That could be a thing, because so I play a little bit of the game too, right? You have your own team of heroic spirits fight against like other heroic spirits and monsters and whatnot. So you can technically probably do that. So I wouldn't be surprised if I get to see all the whole like other heroic spirits join Mashu and help them into saving the world and humanity, right? Because all anime has to have the plot of saving humanity for some reason. Anyways, guys, that's it for Fate Grand Order First Order, the review impression thing of it. I really liked it. I hope to see a little bit like the Second Order for one, or something more of it to continue on the series. So it's late, and I just got back from my New Year's party, so I'm kind of tired. And once again, Happy New Year's. So I'll see you guys on the next video on the TheDomotaku channel. So take care, guys. Matane, good night, and I'll see you guys then.